Ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to Quick Sticks, the show where we talk everything PLL. What's up, boys? How we doing?
Doing good.
I am ready. I'm ready.
I hope so, because week 4 is officially in the books. We had a great set of games, I should say, over the weekend. So let's jump right in. First one we had was Redwoods Whip Snakes. I'm going to start this off, not to be kind of that guy, but I have called this happening. The part I was wrong about was I did pick Whip Snakes to cover at 1.5. They only won by 1.
Yeah.
But I did say this game would be a lot closer than people were expecting. I think a lot of people had Whip Snakes absolutely blowing the Redwoods out. I don't know. I think this league is so competitive that this type of game happens where you might just see it on paper and think this is going to be a blowout, and then it turns out to be either an overtime game or just a 1-goal victory. But
Sure.
I thought the Redwoods looked great. I thought their defense looked really good. I think the Epelko and Glazner combo on defense is starting to come together. I thought their offense looked good too. They had a lot of shots on net, but Bernlord just played great. He's been playing great all season. But I will say this was just another week of TD losing at the stripe, which it's finally starting to be talked about as a reason the Redwoods are losing, but it's still I agree with you, James. It's not being talked about enough as how bad he's doing.
He had another bad game.
Yeah.
Straight up.
So
he had a bad game.
He is absolutely a reason they're 1-3. But I'll leave it at that. But the Whip Snakes did not look great on offense. I thought they looked pretty sloppy for the most part, but it's just got to be so nice to have a guy like Rambo where you can just turn to him in the fourth quarter and be like, dude, just take over. But
slides come, doesn't matter how many balls off, doesn't matter.
The highlights of him scoring those goals, I'll open it up to you guys. It was insane to watch.
Yeah. I'll jump in. And Matt, I'm curious your take. I'm going to call this the Ravens Steelers of our league. Doesn't matter.
I actually love that.
Doesn't matter where they are in the playoffs. Doesn't matter who's favored to win whatever. It's going to be close every time. And it was 40% of the strike, man. That's the game right there.
Yeah.
I think we talked about this right before we got on, but TD's stick skills. I know he had an assist this game, but his kind of inability to run a fast break is really hurting him. He's not a threat. So he's not getting the ball as much as he did last year. He's not a threat. Rambo's really good. He's 5 points.
Confirmed.
He's not only really good. He doesn't care when a slide comes. You can put all these different strategies out there. We're gonna force him this way and that way. And so far, it hasn't really mattered. He's not shooting great from the field. But man, I got a funny question for you guys. How many saves do you think my man Timmy Troutner had? Redwoods
had in this game?
Yeah, Sam's got it. 4 saves.
Is it 4? You 100% looked that up. There's no chance that's off the top.
I did. Well,
that's cheating. He asked organically.
I knew it was 4.
Then you should have just let me answer.
Sam, he'll understand that next week.
What was your guess?
We're probably sub 10, obviously. I wouldn't have asked if it wasn't that bad.
I thought you said it was 4.
It is 4. That's what I'm saying. He was asking what your guess was.
Yeah, I was curious what
I would have said probably 7 or 8. I definitely wouldn't have guessed as low as 4.
Dude, I had to look it up 3 times because that's a typo. There's no way Timmy had 4 saves.
That is
that's
not
horrible.
Yeah.
That's horrible. So I don't know. It's interesting because the Whip Snakes for the second week in a row almost lost on paper. They lost in shots on goal. They lost in caused turnovers. They had 24 turnovers themselves. They got the dub. So doesn't matter.
That's my point there.
Go ahead, Sam.
Where is the Redwoods offense? They're showing gradual improvement over weeks, but how can you justify a loss when you basically the other team had 24 turnovers? You had 15 caused turnovers and you lose by 1. Put out an APB for Miles Jones, dude. Where are these guys?
It's not a hot take, but it's just a call out.
No, it's a total call out because beginning of the season, episode 1, I'm saying Redwood's going to the ship, and yeah, I'm looking like an idiot right now because they're non-existent. Yeah, Apple, maybe their defense stepping up, but like that's it. Like go.
But like, how much of Miles' issues is TD?
Um,
It's easy for you to say. You're an Atlas fan. You guys always have the rock.
Absolutely, yeah. Blessed to have Baptiste on our team, but
don't do that. We'll get to that. Don't do that.
I'm not. Yeah, but on TD, it's absolutely on him, especially with the standard he set last year, being I think like a point behind or even point above Baptiste.
There was times when he was above.
Yeah, I think he beat him when they faced off in the playoffs, if I'm not mistaken.
Which this year, that sounds like insanity. Like that's a big
that's
drop,
this year.
Yeah, hell no, that's not.
Yeah, man. I think we're kind of like diagnosing what's wrong with them, and it's the offense and face-offs. So hopefully next week they can pick it up.
You know what's funny is the Redwoods have scored 11 goals 3 out of the 4 weeks so far this year,
and they should be at 15, man.
And the fourth week, which was week 2, I think they only scored 3 goals. Oh yeah, because that was a game we saw in Charlotte. So they have not scored over 11 goals yet. So yeah, Sam, to your point, I mean, it's very clear the Redwoods offense still has a lot of work to do, but this was not necessarily on paper because they scored the same amount of goals, but I thought just ball movement, they started to do that against the Chaos last week, but I just think their offense is looking more fluid, more together, a little bit more chemistry. But yeah, I mean, they still don't have the Miles or Rob Pennell or whoever they had, Jules Henenberg, stepping up and leading this team. Like, this is a shared effort right now. They do not have a star right now.
I think what we see a lot is Redwoods making those like extra effort hustle plays that like
they should. I mean, they're the most athletic team in the league.
Yeah. Well, yeah, but like Pennell doing like running around his man, making like a one-handed wraparound shot. Like Pennell doing his stuff. And yeah, they're surviving on that right now, making those hustle plays, but we need to just see more.
I think one thing that their coach did that I think is in the long run actually going to help them is they put Nakai at D midi. I think a part of it might have been
what?
Yeah, so Nakai played D midi, which remember like that's how Perkovic kind of got his start offensively. He started running with the D midi, then he would come right. So like the guy had a lot of good plays, especially in the middle of the field, clearing the ball and all that. So I feel like that might be something in the long term that might end up working out for them. But
I think it will.
I mean, they're
turn on those burners.
That's what I'm saying. I mean, when he's picking up ground balls, it's a free clear.
He's out.
It's honestly a free clear. So we'll see. But they have a lot to work on, man. They really do. I mean, but to Matt's point, they did look a lot better.
They are.
Yeah. If Berlo doesn't stand on his head, we're not having this conversation.
That's what I'm saying is,
like Berlo's been playing. I mean, Berlo's the number 1 goalie in the league right now.
By far. So,
easily.
Whipsnakes win a close one, taking them to 4-0. They are tied for first. Redwoods dropped to 1-3. So, good for the Redwoods right now. But, so James, I mean, we can talk about the next one if you want, man. I don't know.
I thought we were going to skip it.
We didn't skip the shit. Next game we had was Chaos versus my Water Dogs. My dogs finally showed some bite with their bark. Finally.
Nope, I can't give it to him. He doesn't give
Come
me
on,
shit.
Gross.
That
was disgusting.
No, I'll start this one off. So, I mean, you obviously had a lot of NLL guys returning, mainly for the Chaos. Dylan Ward was back with the Water Dogs, but Andy Copeland decided to stick with Matt DeLuca in net, which, James, you called that, said it would be the move. I disagreed. Turned out to be a pretty good decision. Matt DeLuca played well.
Yeah, looks good. He looks confident.
Yeah, no, this game was just all Water Dogs. Chaos really just did not have an answer to stop the bleeding on defense for them. Connor Kelly, Ryan Brown, Michael Sowers, Kieran McCardle, I think those were the top 4 point leaders, but they all just played phenomenally well. The offense looked way better. Water Dogs hit 3 2-pointers, which was just, I mean, again, just mentally, that's just a separator and just it's such a demotivator on defense.
It's a huge dagger.
Yeah. Water Dogs had 45 shots on net, which is crazy. 45 shots, 29 shots on net.
Okay, that's tough.
I mean, either way, it's still crazy.
So Blaze had 13 saves, which still, I mean, that's good. He was just getting absolutely shelled out there. So, you know, Blaze is pretty low in the goalie statistics right now, but again, you know, that's just, it's not on him. I think mainly, I don't know. I'm curious your take, James, but anyway, my point, it was great to see my dogs finally come alive. First win this week. I don't know. James, what do you think?
Is the curse over?
The curse is officially, I don't know. We'll have to, I'm curious what Dukes and Jordy say on this week. I'll have to listen, but
okay.
This was the first Water Dogs win when Michael Sowers has played. He was, you know what's funny is he was on a minute cap, and I bet you they're going to say like, oh, he was only allowed to play a certain number of minutes. So I bet you there's like an asterisk.
That's how they got around. Yeah, right.
Yeah. I don't know, James. What's wrong with your chaos?
Jesus, I wrote way too much for this game because it was like anger typing. I was like anger typing, like it was like an ex-girlfriend. So our offense looked horrible, like wretched, stagnant. Like we talked about before we got on. Everyone loves to do this, like NLL guys are new, give us a couple of weeks, blah blah blah. We don't have a couple weeks. Like I'm kind of sick of hearing, we need time, we need this. No, you guys need to play. And as I said before, I think effort is something that doesn't involve chemistry. I mean, those ground balls that we saw in 2 games this weekend, that might be the difference in the game. And I think the Ryan Brown technique of using him in a razor pick at X, like it tore us apart, man. Because now you have a short stick trying to guard Ryan Brown, but he's also the hot slide. So, Matt, I know you saw this tidbit that Keeks talked about. Ryan Brown's defender was the hot slide for almost 48 minutes in that game. So it's like they did it perfectly. They did it perfectly. The hot slide is like the guy to slide to whoever's dodging. You hear defenders yelling, I'm hot. If you get beat, I got you. That's what you're saying.
Oh.
So they put Ryan Brown, his defender, in that hot slide. So even if you go a little bit, by the time you get back, you're turning and raking.
And Ryan Brown has one of the fastest shots too. So
fastest shots, and he can shoot from weird angles. Keeks talks about it in this thing that they do a razor pick east to west, like how Matt was talking about, but he can shoot with his outside hand. So as a short stick defender, what are you closing out to? It's like when we talk about Mark McNeil.
Impossible to
exactly. Cover. Mark McNeil closing out on like Shriver. He's like, you can't do anything. I mean, you're late and you only have a short stick. So that was really interesting to see, honestly, to kind of have Keeks break that down because that was like our big issue. But you know, it was really good to see Dane and like Josh and Chase even play somewhat well, but like I just didn't see the effort that I would like to see in a repeat championship team. I mean, all 3 of us have watched sports for how long. We all know how hard it is to repeat, and if you take away effort in that, I don't think that can work either. So, Blaze is 6th in the league in saves, which isn't great, but I think Matt, our offense is actually the issue there. So I guess to summarize, I think we need to get into our quote-unquote Canadian flow, and it's really hard to do that, you know, when we've had hodgepodge guys in there so far. So I give us 1 more week until it's panic button time, but I keep hearing we have time to turn around, and I think as of this week we don't have that time anymore. So tough game, 9-18. I mean, the fourth quarter was literally a shootout on Blaze, and I hope we can see chaos of last year next week because this is our really all we got. So we'll see.
So yeah, it is an 11-week season. I did find out. So we are almost halfway through already.
Yeah. So do they have time to turn around? Yes. Does it look like?
So where's Nanacoke? Is he not playing yet?
So he hasn't played yet. But
well, I knew that, but is he not even on the active roster yet?
I thought he was added last week. That's why I was confused.
I looked. I didn't see him on there.
You didn't see him
I'm
on there?
wondering if he's still out for some reason.
I mean, there's got to be a reason because, you know, when we're down by 10 or 11, like, why not throw him in if he's available?
Right, absolutely.
Like, no risk and reward. So I'm not sure. I mean, he's not even – I mean, even with him inserted, you know, I think we lose.
My call was totally incorrect last week then. Made 0 impact. Well.
You also said that the KS aren't going to score less than 10 goals the rest of the season. So
I did say that.
2 things you're wrong about. Yep.
Big fat loser, Sammy.
Yeah, write that down. I don't know, man. We'll see. It was frustrating. It was really hard to watch, man. It was really hard to watch, honestly.
I mean, after, what's happened the last few weeks, I was fully expecting the Water Dogs to blow that lead. And then it just kept getting bigger and bigger. And then when they got it to like a 6-point game, it just stayed there.
Never went down. But I mean,
yeah.
it's kind of the danger of stretching the field. Once Ryan Brown's hitting those, it's kind of like how we feel about Romar and the Atlas. Like, what can you do? You send two guys, And
I was really glad that Keegs put out that article, because watching that game, you would see Sowers, start at X, roll to one side, up the wing, and then he would throw a cross crease pass, like high on the wing, and Ryan Brown is just standing there by himself. And I'm like, how the hell is Ryan Brown wide open?
Yeah.
But that's the kind of stuff like I just don't notice watching lacrosse. Is like razor picks, at GLE or something like that.
Right.
So when he breaks it down, you actually see how Ryan gets open.
Yeah, and how all the attention goes back to Sowers, and then Ryan Brown's backing up on the backside. Yeah.
So, I mean, Copeland, if that was his call to change up the offense, my hat has been tipped to you, sir, because to put up 18 on any team is fantastic.
It sounded like it was, because they interviewed Sowers, and he was like, what was the game plan? They were like, to get Brownie the ball.
Yeah, which actually I was like, that should be the damn plan every week.
Every single time. Best shooter. He can shoot from all angles. So, I don't know. But it sucks to say this, but it was really nice seeing the Water Dogs play well. I got to be honest about that.
They're a fun team to watch when they
That's what I'm saying.
Well.
When they're hot, it's fun to watch. So, we'll see.
Sam, what'd you think?
Tough.
I mean, you guys just said it, like non-existent on offense. So, not going to just echo it, what we all just agree on. So, we can just agree. Chaos kind of need to step it up or hang it up, because they're almost out of playoff contention. So, and I know a lot of those guys just came from a playoff run. So, I think they still have that fire in them. I expect them to play better next week, and so.
Yeah, we kind of don't have an option. It's like if you don't play better next week, it's like.
And we know these guys are competitive. Like, everybody in this league is a competitor, right? So they all have that drive, right? They're all professionals, so I definitely expect them to come out next week, fully committed to winning.
But that's what I'm saying. Though, if we come in next week, we play hard and we lose. That's one thing.
Exactly.
But to not play well and not play hard, that's tough. That's tough to watch.
Exactly. Yeah.
Yeah, well, so again, Water Dogs do win 18-9, moving them up to 1-3, which is funny. We were just talking about this. Now their goal differential is only -1, which is crazy. It was -10, but so Chaos, your defending champs, have dropped to 0-4. Got to bounce back here at some point. So let's move on to Saturday. The first game we had Saturday was Cannon's Chrome. James, lead us off here. What did you see in this one?
This game was sick. This game was amazing.
I have so much to say about this.
I know. I have this game.
Game of the week.
This game was tight. I don't mean
game of the week.
I don't mean to beat a dead horse, but Asher Nolting had 6 points. So you guys all tweeted about it. I remember you people. You can play off ball.
Yeah.
4 goals, 2 assists. Nick Turn, officially, there's no more argument. He was the right pick. Through and through. He looked like an actual quarterback in this game.
Wait, Nick Turn or Logan?
No, Nick Turn.
Oh, okay.
Nick Turn had 4 assists.
Best pick in the second round.
Yeah. Like I'm saying, like, he has been that quarterback that they were
looking
to have. Yeah, that's what I'm saying. So he had 1 goal, 4 assists. And Matt, I'm super curious your take on this, but dude, I feel like Sean, Chrome goalie, has been so consistent for 4 weeks now straight. He's only been sub 50% 1 game. That's it all season.
I was gonna say I thought he had an off week, but
he had that Water Dogs game where he didn't play well.
That's right.
But I think
outlet passes are ridiculous.
I told you, dude. I told you he's up there in outlet passes, and he starts the offense sometimes. But I think this game told the 2 stories that we were. I think hesitant about, but now we're sure. 1, Cannons can't finish games. They can't. They are -10, I believe, in fourth quarters. And the second side of that is Chrome can score a lot of goals when they need to, and they look like some
very quickly.
Yes, they looked. I mean, Matt and I were talking about it this week when we were watching. I wanted to send you guys a picture of them being up by 3 goals with the ball, 2 minutes 58 seconds to go in the game. You don't lose that game. You don't.
I turned it off. Because
you knew it was over.
The game's over.
there's like all you have to do is sit on the ball, not turn it over, not get penalties, and they did all of those. So
I mean, don't give the milkman, what's his name? Don't give
him. That's what I was going to talk about too. I think Milkman has been a game changer for them, truthfully, and I think we saw it in this game. But I also think you see having a good faceoff guy can win you close games, even if you don't win on paper.
Yep.
Because it's just like we need the ball. Like that's it's lacrosse's version of an onside kick. We need the ball. You get it. You can score if you want to. But it was an awesome game. 11-12 in OT. I think my biggest issue, and I hope you guys caught this too. How do you lose an overtime game on a restart? Like when you're in overtime, everyone before the whistle blows is looking for their guy, making sure like we're lined up, and they lost on literally just a restart and just like a throw in front of the net. Like as a coach, that kills me. Like you can't. Like I'm not going down just because my guy was looking the wrong way for a second or bad communication. Like
dude,
it's OT, man, and you guys like fought to like keep this lead, and then you guys lost it, and then to lose on that kind of goal was kind of tough. So yeah, I think this was like a very fun game to watch. We got to see a lot of Lyle, a lot of Asher. We got to see a lot of the Chrome guys, play well, and their goalie's third in the league behind Bernlohr and Kokanen. So I feel like he's been a silent constant. So go ahead, Sam.
So I'm going to agree with you that yes, the Chrome can score when they need to, but the Cannons lost this game. The Chrome did not win it. Being down or being up 3, minute and 30 left. And I think it was a random wrap check by, I'm forgetting, but it was a random wrap check and like 1 minute and 30 seconds left, turnover. And then like that, you get it to Nick Turn, one more, boom, goal. And then Connor Farrell, 2 more faceoffs, we're in OT. So it was such like random mistakes by the Cannons, like the turnover 10 seconds into the game turns into a runaway goal. The Cannons definitely lost this game because they played great. Goalie play was awesome. I think best of the week, from my opinion. Morocco crushed it, dude. Like he made it go into overtime when he came out of the net completely stoned. Who shot it?
Might have been Dylan.
I think it was Malloy. I think you're right.
Yeah.
But yeah, my opinion is like the Chrome were non-existent until maybe 3 minutes left into the third, and then we saw something.
That's a good take.
Connor Farrell to me helped them win. Absolutely, like they needed him, and I think that's why we're seeing the Cannons bring in what's his name? Donville. Yeah, is he a Vogo guy? No.
He's a wing mid.
Don't worry, we'll edit that out.
He's gonna really get their offense kick-started.
Stephen Kelly's their face-off guy.
I don't know. I was thinking of the Lehigh guy for some reason.
The guy that Bryce is not a big fan of.
Yeah. But anyway, I definitely think Chrome lost this. Cannons lost this, and they definitely should have won this. There's no reason they shouldn't have come out on top. Like, this is a total collapse. And yeah, to your point, James, they can't finish games.
Yeah, this has been a thing this year. Like this is a thing. This is officially a thing.
It's becoming a pattern.
However, the Asher Thompson 2-point game, dear God.
Yeah.
Dear God. Like
that behind the back pass was so sick.
I think
it looks so natural.
It was so smooth.
He did that with the sun, like basically in his eyes. Like I think he was blind on that. So. This was the Asher Nolting breakout game we've been waiting for, I think. But yeah, I had the Chrome winning this by a lot, so this game was actually closer than I thought. But yeah, to your point, Brendan Nickturn is looking like rookie of the year right now. Dude's playing out of his mind, but Jake Pulver's continued to dominate on defense. Have to give him a shout out. This dude does not get the credit he deserves at all for how well he plays on defense. I would never want that man on me on defense.
He had a one-on-one ground ball, and I was like, no.
But this – so I'm going to put a take out there.
Oh boy.
In my opinion, this collapse was up there with the Falcons-Patriots Super Bowl.
Wow.
Blowing a 4-goal lead with less than 2 minutes left is legendary bad. Like that is an all-time absolute collapse.
I think if this was the playoffs, I definitely agree with you. I think that's the only
I agree.
reason.
Yeah,
as far as the
I think that's
collapse
the only
itself,
reason.
though, I think it's the same.
I think the stakes were obviously higher in that, but to enter the fourth quarter with a 5-goal lead, have a 4-goal lead with less than 2 minutes left, and then allow. I will say Ryan Terefenko's fake to tie the game was one of the filthiest things I've ever seen in my life.
That jump shot fake was so sick.
And the drone footage, if you haven't seen it, was even cooler.
I don't know if I've seen it.
PLL posted it. Go check it out.
Really?
It
okay.
So sick. But
wow. Okay.
This is just such a big collapse in my opinion. Not just score, but just the tide of that game. And yes, a lot of it had to do with the milkman at the stripe. Again, if you don't have the ball, you can't score anymore. So
it's true.
You're pretty much just asking your defense to step up possession after possession. But the last 2 minutes, Cannons just could not stop the bleeding. They didn't get the ball back. When they did, they turned it over. Heartbreak City.
Yeah. I think your last point is really, really accurate. Like they didn't just turn the ball over; they would turn it over in the first 10 seconds of the shot clock. Yes. I think they have either a moving screen or an offside. Once that offside happened, I was like, dude, they're melting. Like this is going downhill quickly. And I love the announcers that were like, oh, this one's pretty much in the books. All you gotta do is run around, get long possessions, unless they score here, boom.
Oh my God. So I turned the game off when they were up by 5, and then I checked my phone just for the hell of it and saw they were only up by 1 with a minute left. Of course I turned it back on. But wow. I mean, when you blow a lead like that and then it gets forced into overtime, you don't have a chance in hell in winning that game. There's no momentum is completely on the other side of the field.
Same thing with beer pong, man. You hit 4 cups in a row, take an OT, you know you're winning.
That's true. We beat Sam 18 times in a row. But
wow.
That did happen.
Sam's the
shout out to B-Toy. B-Toy and Sam, worst beer pong team of all time.
We are tagging him in this. We are tagging him in this house.
So Chrome win 12-11, taking them to 4-0, tied for first place. Cannons dropped to 1-3.
Shout out Bryce, worst take of PLL history. Thinking we're going to be bad this year.
He didn't just say they were going to be bad. He spent a good 10 minutes. Skipped 2 games to move to the Archers Chrome game.
I am tagging him in this so hard. I cannot wait.
So last game of the weekend we had was Archers Atlas. Sam, we're going to let you start. You're on a 30-second clock. Give us your recap.
Chill out. All right. So
25 seconds.
Baptiste, MVP of the league, winning 16 out of 16 faceoffs. Up until 2 minutes into the third. So it's hard to compete with that.
It's true. That's a good point.
Also, Jeff Teat is Jeff Teat. So that man,
Jeff Teat is Jeff Teat.
I hope everybody saw his one-hand low to high stinger.
I haven't watched that.
I guarantee you. I think Boyle said it right. Like, every high school kid probably went out to the backyard the next day and was
1,000%,
100%.
They all are out there.
Every lacrosse stick of a high school player was immediately grabbed outside, back door open.
That's mini stick ball right there.
But I think overall for Atlas, our defense did great. Like, we didn't see a lot of Tom Schreiber or Manny. I thought we did a good job shutting them down. They had to rely on Matt Moore. Matt Moore proved that he was a great pick, right? He's making crazy ass shots. Like, being pushed by the defender, I don't care. Over top.
Doesn't matter.
So yeah, Matt Moore is definitely cementing himself as one of the best picks this year. And definitely just kind of cementing the Archers offense as like, oh yeah, you can pin or you can just shut down Schreiber, shut down Manny. We still got more. So,
wow, Sam, that was a missed opportunity. You should have said, but wait, there's more.
No.
I'm disappointed.
Very.
Yeah, we have a standard here, and I didn't meet it. I apologize. But opposite end, our defense did a good job shutting them down. Con Cannon he did win. He had 55% saves, but his bouncer saves, man, like I'm nervous when we play Chrome next week. I'm nervous, dude. Like, they lit him up on that last time. So other than that, man, like Baptiste is doing what he does best, and he's giving our offense chances. And our defense did a good job shutting the Archers down. But it was a great game. Like it came down to the last possession where we just were able to kind of not allow them to get a good shot on goal. And now move to 3-1, and we play the Chrome next week, which is going to be, I think, one of the best games of the week.
That's such a fun game.
Thoughts, questions?
Well, this was absolutely a fantastic game to watch. Unfortunately, I spent all week talking about how I was going to hammer the over, which I did, and it did not hit. So if any of our loyal fans are taking my gambling advice, this is your notice to you should probably just go ahead and fade me. That's probably your best bet financially. But no, it's a great game to watch. I want to say I don't see Atlas losing another game while Baptiste is this hot, but so I do want to set in stone what Trevor Baptiste is doing at the Stripe is historic right now. It's you're playing with the best players in the world, and he's absolutely, this is not even a contest to him right now. It's so a cat and mouse game.
Yes.
That being said,
oh boy,
I have to say it's concerning when you are that dominant at the Stripe and you only win a game by 1 point.
Thank you.
Like that. So
I said the same thing.
Atlas looked like a great team, but that has to be sticking out in every fan's mind and the team's mind is this game should have been at least a 5 to 6 goal game at the very least, with how many like the fact that the Archers scored 9 goals and were only down by 1 is, with how few possessions they got, is actually, I feel like that's more of a pro for the Archers.
Yeah, I agree.
But again, it's, unless you find a face-off guy that's going to compete with Baptiste, you're not going to beat the Atlas. So I think there's pros and cons to both for each team, but I don't know. I think this week is going to be very interesting for the Atlas, just because the Chrome are playing all around great. You've got Connor Farrell at the Stripe, who I think behind Trevor Baptiste is the best face-off person right now. So,
no, it's Baptiste, Nardella, and Milkman.
Nardella is playing really well.
He's having a good season. Yeah.
I mean, again, Trevor Baptiste was in the 80s of face-off, 80% of face-off wins. So if Connor takes even 3 or 4 of those away, you're talking about, and now you've got the Chrome offense on the other side of the field. We could talk about it more in our predictions, but this game, yes, it was a good win for the Atlas. I think the Archers are a very good team. So the fact that the Atlas, and I actually almost texted you guys that morning. I told you, saying I was going to switch my pick to the Atlas, because I was like, the Atlas are not losing 2 in a row. There's no way.
That's fair.
But I didn't, so it doesn't really matter. But
at least you told us.
I don't know. What are y'all's thoughts?
I agree. I
actually do agree with that. I mean, just to put numbers to it, though. I mean, dude, we're talking 19-4 for faceoffs.
That's what I'm saying.
It's 19-4. So that's disgusting.
40.
So that's it. I mean, Matt, that was my first and only point, is that the delta is surprising, but with this score, there's so much more to read into a stat like that. I mean, you guys have the ball 80% of the game and 1 by 1 on so
yeah,
a lot to unpack there. But obviously, Atlas did play very well. But Matt, was this not the conversation we had after the draft? Ignacio was a good pick, sure, but is he enough to make a difference in the game? That's the only thing that matters. So what you're saying about the Milkman, I feel is right, but it's we kind of see winning 4 or 5 isn't enough, and it wasn't enough.
Yeah,
after this week, and that gap is kind of crazy. Trevor's at 74%, and Nardella's at 65%. So
damn.
I mean, for to be the best of the best, then have the top be that big, that's wild. That's
I mean, that's enough to take you to the championship. Just that.
Oh, for sure. I wrote a lot about Matt Moore. I mean, I think he is a athlete embodiment of the phrase "good defense, better offense," because there's so many times when I'm like, oh, dude, that's good D, and then he hits it, and I'm like, All right. I mean, he's just that good, and I think Jeff Teat is by far my MVP, like easily, honestly.
So is Matt more Devontae Adams?
Wow.
We've already said he was LeBron. Actually,
Yeah.
I just enforced the LeBron pick.
But Devontae's like that's good though, because how many times have we seen corners in the right position?
I mean, you can play great coverage on Devontae Adams, and if you watch Matt Moore, it's the same thing. The defender's in great position.
Fantastic.
Doesn't
Sometimes
matter.
they're pushing him away from the like with him today. They're pushing him away, and he's still catching.
Yeah, I said he's LeBron.
But like, can we just please have a conversation about the way Jeff T plays lacrosse? Like, why is he at it's like he's walking on the beach.
I know.
Like
it's so easy.
It looks so chill. That one hander was just like
oh, sure, left. No problem.
Top left, best defenders in the world. So
I get
this game was awesome. I'm actually gonna watch it again tonight because what we talked about the baseball straight. So I want to see the turnover difference. But honestly, if I'm an Atlas fan, Sam, I mean, I'm very excited about this game. I mean, these are the kind of games you guys are gonna have to win to get a ship. I mean, games that Trevor dominates and it's still close. So
I was saying I wouldn't be surprised if this is a playoff game.
So yeah,
For sure.
I think I had that like this is going to be one of our playoffs games, but like we're still not talking about the Amen in the room. Like where's it? Like Amen's not here yet. Like, do you guys win this game with Grant Amen? Interesting. It's interesting.
Hindsight. I don't know.
Yes, the game's over.
That's another offensive weapon we have to cover, and we have to pull someone from Schreiber or Manny.
Because like I think we are.
But it also doesn't help the possession conversation.
It's true. It's true. I feel like it's been long enough that we haven't watched Amen that people have almost forgotten like what he does on the field.
They have.
Like.
He's been out 2 weeks.
He hasn't played this season.
Yes, he hasn't played.
I thought he played week 1. My bad.
He was. I mean, there was that 1 week he was supposed to. And Matt, you said the injury report did come out. Is he still questionable?
No, he's out.
He's out again. So how do you go from
pretty certain he's out. Let me confirm.
How do you go from questionable that 1 week to that's crazy?
I could have sworn, or wait, that was just the Premier League that posted that. But yeah, because there were a lot of comments about what's going on with him. Yeah, it just says out lower body.
Jesus.
So I mean, yeah, and it's the same as every sport. I mean, when it's out, there was no question he was out. Like he's not close to playing if he's still out. That's what questionable's for.
And that's what I'm saying. Why did we have that 1 week when it was like,
I think that play. I mean, I don't know. I could be completely wrong. I feel like that was just, Amen's competitive nature of like, look, I'm not sitting on the sideline. I was pretty much the MVP last year behind Blaze. So I'm getting on the field. And the trainers were like, dude, you can't.
You can't play. This is not Friday Night Live. Okay.
Yeah. So Atlas win this one 10-9, taking them to 3-1. Archers dropped to 2-2. I agree. I think again, it's 4 weeks in the season. You have to be excited as an Atlas fan. You can't ask for better play from the face-off guy, and your offense looks great.
Call me crazy. Does Trevor look a lot more lean and fast this year?
Yes,
he does.
Dude, when he was running on his goal, I was like,
bro,
that's speed, boy.
By everybody. That was standard shot.
Also, we need Trevor mic'd up every game. Every single game.
I love
when he's mic'd up. I love when he breaks down.
Also, apparently Diggs is going to be at Boston for the All-Star game.
I saw that, man.
He will. That's going to be great.
That's a-dat.
All right. Well, that wraps up week 4 for us. We do have a very special guest this week, Mr. Asher Nolting of the PLL Cannons.
Yeah.
So we will do our week 5 predictions afterward. But right now, let's jump into our interview with Asher. All right, so we are here with Mr. Asher Nolting from the Cannons. How are you, man?
Good. How are you guys doing? Thanks for having me on here.
Absolutely, man. We appreciate you taking some time to come on and talk with us. So give us a little background about yourself, where you're from, how you got into lacrosse.
Yeah, no. So for me, I'm from Greenwood Village, Colorado, about 10 minutes outside downtown Denver. I grew up, I started playing, I think, competitively in like 3rd grade. With the Denver Bandits back in the day, and then I moved over to DLC, Denver Lacrosse Club, and kind of grew up through those ranks, and then started playing club ball out here with 3D, and then we eventually created our own team called Team Colorado, and then so then I just grew up and then ventured on out to High Point, and it's been an awesome 5 years there. And then now I'm first year on the Cannons, so it's been a pretty wild ride so far.
And amen to that. So that actually is a good segue. And I got to know, you have probably had other looks. Why'd you choose High Point besides the beautiful campus?
Yeah, no, I mean, obviously the campus is unbelievable, but Coach Torpy and the staff there, and the guys that were in the locker room at that time too, and in the 5 years that I was there, I think that those relationships that I built so early on there were a really big key for me, and I felt like that for me it was an ideal thing of going somewhere and building something rather than joining an established program, and trying to build on a legacy. I wanted or build on top of a legacy that's already been built. So I wanted to build something in a High Point. And I think that was probably one of the bigger goals. And obviously Coach Torpy is an unbelievable recruiter. He did an unbelievable job kind of selling me on that vision. So that was definitely it.
Wow. Yeah, that's cool. I like that you actually wanted to build something and went through with it. A lot of people talk about that, but then end up on a Maryland team. That's dope. All right, so a little bit into the PLL. I'm curious as to your play style seems super physical, bull dodging, that kind of thing. How has that fit so far in the PLL? I know the defenders are a little stronger than the guys that you had at High Point. So how has that been so far?
Yeah, no, for me, I think obviously my play style, like you said, is physical. I'm not afraid of contact. I like to initiate the contact first. Yeah, and again, the guys in the PLL are a little bit stronger than some of the guys I faced, in my 5 years in college. But again, it's very similar of just trying to get to my spots, and I think if I can do that, I'm hard to stop. So again, I think for the biggest thing for me is my adjustments to just being more patient in my dodging styles. I feel like in the first couple of weeks I was kind of rushing it. And I was getting weird shot angles and not the shots that I normally was getting. So, just trying to figure out and be more patient with my dodges. And, that's definitely the biggest thing I've so far.
That's dope. Go ahead, Matt.
We were curious how draft night was. We talked with Max Wayne a few weeks ago, who got drafted by the Atlas. We were pretty stunned to hear, he didn't even know he got drafted until he actually heard his name called on TV. He didn't really get any notice. Was that the same situation for you, or kind of what was your headspace?
Yeah, so very similar situation. I had no idea who I was going to, when I was going. So I actually gotten home that day from school, just had gotten back from High Point and graduation and all that stuff. And so we were sitting in my living room, sitting there just watching. And again, I've said it before. It was a tough start to the night. I think at one point I had to get up and leave. And no disrespect to the guys that were taking it from me. I think they're all unbelievable players. But my mindset with that whole thing was I don't know. I think I'm the best players in the draft in my mind. And I love that. For me, it was tough to see that, but it was also great to some great motivation, and it was great, and it couldn't work out any better for me in the end, in the long run. So being on the Cannons and being with the guys that that I'm with now, looking back on it now, it's funny just to think how upset I wouldn't say upset that I dropped that low, but upset that I hadn't been taken. But now I look back at it and I'm so grateful that I did drop to 10.
Wow.
Damn, that's awesome.
Damn, that's awesome.
Well, yeah, and dropping the 10, you got chose by the Cannons, which means you get to play with one of the best players in the world, Lyle Thompson. So, tell us a little bit about what it's like playing with him.
Yeah, no, it's like I've said, it's a dream come true. I've watched every highlight of his probably growing up. I've taken little pieces from his game here and there of his physical dodging style, getting shots off with guys in your hands, just stuff like that. Obviously tried to put some of that into my game, not as well as he does it, but to the
pretty high bar to compare.
Yeah.
It's a little, you don't realize how hard it is until you actually get to see him do it all the time. But it's the same thing. And Quentin kind of sold me out on last week's broadcast. He said it's difficult to play with Lyle.
I heard that. I was going to ask you about that.
He didn't give the explanation that I had for it, and so I was like, "Damn, what is he doing?"
These
No,
narratives, man.
when I was talking to him, I said it was difficult for me to play with Lyle because, and then again, if I can explain it, it's because he's so unpredictable and so just in the moment of like reacting to what the defense is giving him that you have to kind of learn how to play like that. And I think that's when I said week one, if I don't know how you can't become a better lacrosse player playing with him because he plays the game that truthfully it's supposed to be how it's supposed to be played. Super reactive, super, free flowing, super, just fun and exciting. And I think that's what I've kind of got to take from him. And so, yeah, and Quinn sold me out on it a little bit, but no, it's been an unbelievable opportunity to play with him. And yeah, and like I said, when it's difficult in the way that for me, it was tough to learn because coming from college, you're so structured based and like you have your system, your sets, and like your certain ways that you want to attack certain things. And like with him, that's just completely out the window. So
Right.
it's been awesome to kind of get to that playing style.
That's awesome. That's dope.
I think Quinn. We'll tag Quinn. Make sure.
I was gonna say we'll tag Quinn. Quinn might have gotten cut off because of a goal, but the quote just sounded bad. He's like, "Yeah, I was speaking to Asher, and he said it's tough to play with Lyle." And then something happened, and then he just moved on. I was like, "What the hell? No context?"
They're like, damn, you're talking shit on Lyle. I was like, no, I wasn't trying to. I was really trying to like, tell him that it's like it was hard for me to learn how to play like that. So
right.
He just sold me out like that. I was
Damn, it's because he's like so good and so unpredictable. It's hard for you to play off of that.
Yeah,
that makes sense. That makes sense. We got you, man.
Yeah, we'll make sure we get that cleared up.
Yeah, we got the whole quote. Go ahead.
So, I mean, we did want to ask, moving to pros, there's obviously a few differences. Things like the 2-point arc, shorter field you're playing with. I mean, has that been pretty easy to adapt to in the 4 weeks so far?
Yeah, no, the shorter field when I was running out of the midfield was interesting. It's just how quick that the transition can happen with the shorter field. But again, for me, yeah, I mean, I think if anyone's watched me play before, I think they know the 2-point arc's probably not in my game. So I haven't really had to adjust to trying to get to that range yet. So I'm good. I'm good inside the 2, but everything else outside there, I'm like, ooh, that's for other people. So no, it's pretty easy adjusting to that stuff otherwise.
Oh yeah, that's a good segue. Go ahead, Sam.
Nice. So we noticed last game they mentioned that I think it was the first time you started at attack rather than straight up midfield. So I was curious your preference for attack or midfield in the PLL now that you got to experience both.
Yeah, for me, obviously it would be hard for me to say that I wouldn't be more comfortable down low. I mean, I played there for the last basically 9 years of my life, including high school. So, back in middle school, obviously I used to play midi, and that's probably the last time I've actually played midfield. So, and then thinking about that, going into the PLO playing midfield, I think it was huge for me actually to get used to that speed and that physicality from up top. And I think that was the Cannons' way of kind of easing me in that way. And I appreciated it that way. And then when Lyle went down week 2, I kind of went from like going home, working on pretty much up top dodging midi shots all week. Even though I was working on a little bit of stick changes too, because I wasn't much of as big of a feeder anymore probably from up top too. And then coming into that week 2, and they're like, "Oh no, you're playing down low again." I was like, "Oh, okay." So then it kind of switched me back and forth the last couple of weeks, but no, it's been good. I think playing down low now for me, I was more comfortable. And now that I've gotten the speed down, I think I'm feeling better. But if they decide to put me back up top, I think I'd be fine up there again too as well. So, it's nothing wrong with dodging shorties either. So I'm
actually that's true. No Tucker Durkin trying to take your arms off.
Exactly.
I get that. All right, so a little bit back to High Point and the PLL. You were obviously a big part of High Point's growth. I mean, I'm as a big lacrosse fan. Was really excited to see you join High Point and really put them on the map, I would say. So how has building that program with High Point helped you down the PLL when you guys are essentially building a league?
Yeah, I think for me, getting to High Point, there's so many guys that I could say, Lomas, Thistle, all those dudes that came before me that were studs. And, I could name a bunch of guys. That built that culture that I got to come into and got to kind of embrace and kind of make my own and try to continue to grow off of and lead to the younger kids, I guess, the last couple of years for me. it was huge to, be a part of a young program like that, to see the growing pains and be a part of the growing pains and, work through it, how to work through those certain situations, being adaptable. So I think that for me was one of the biggest parts of coming to this league. And, again, like you said, we're building this league, and I'm ecstatic to be a part of it in this time. It's so fresh. I mean, with the ESPN deal and the CBS stuff, that's been unbelievable. I think that, you know, Paul and Mike have done an unbelievable job of just, the social media aspect of it. I mean, there's 90 million cameras everywhere that you look all the time, and everything is seen. Whether that's good or bad for you, I mean, this week I got put on a highlight reel of Mike Messenger just absolutely rocking me. I was like, and I thought in game I didn't think about it, but then after the game I was like, oh, that's gonna be all over everything.
It's definitely gonna be on social media.
I was like, that's definitely gonna be on social media. And then I'm coaching a tournament this weekend with my little brother and his friends, and they're like giggling, and I'm like, "What are you laughing at?" They're like showing me TikTok, and it's me getting blown.
Oh no!
I'm like, it's the same thing. It's like that's sick. Like that
is cool.
That's an unbelievable job by the league of getting that stuff out there, and the social media aspect of it is so big, and there's so many little kids out there that love that stuff, and that that's how this league's gonna grow. So. Yeah, they've done an unbelievable job of that. And I didn't realize that till I got to basically training camp, and it was really cool to see.
Oh, damn.
Yeah, we were actually in Charlotte week 2, so we saw the games, and we said the same thing. That was our first, live experience, and we were like, how many cameras, how many fans? Like, it was just a professional looking setup. Like, it looked so.
Dude, it's a kid's dream, man. Bring your stick. You get to see all the guys you watched in college in one place. Like, I wouldn't have missed a PLL game back then. So
yeah, that's what I'm saying. Like, if it was in the city, it'd be really hard for me as like a kid growing up to be like, no, I'm not gonna go to that game.
Exactly. Yeah, exactly. Like, I would definitely. Yeah. I mean, I guess you got the other side of the coin though, because Lyle's behind the back pass too when you scored. That also went everywhere on social media. So
exactly. So I kind of,
you know what I mean. So give and take. Yeah.
You guys want plenty of highlights, I'm sure, coming up.
Oh my god, yeah. I'm so excited.
The game's gonna be great.
Yeah, I'm excited to watch you guys play. All right, so lightning round time.
Yeah, so we're going to jump into lightning round. We ask a series of quick questions. Some are lax related, some are not. So, Sam, kick us off here.
Go ahead, Sammy.
So I'm always curious to learn this. Some people have it, some people don't. But what's your pregame ritual, if you have one?
For me, I've never really been that guy. I've always I feel like I am superstitious, but I'm not, because I say that I'm not superstitious. So I'm like, oh, I'm not going to do anything like this. But I don't think I've really ever had one. I think, for me, just feeling good, like going into a game, like for a high point for us, we always wore suits. So like making sure that was always pressed the night before and like having that. And then like now it's been dope. I get to wear my game day fits, and I've been like every week I'm like, oh, what should I wear this week? So I feel like kind of nerdy doing it, but no, it's been good. I've been enjoying that stuff. So yeah, I don't really have one though.
Fair enough.
I do like those camera shots after the bus.
Yeah,
when they're fence. Yeah, we like that.
It's like some NBA or NFL.
Yeah, love that. Go ahead, man.
So if you could go pro in any sport besides lacrosse, what would you have picked?
Golf, for sure.
Wow,
that's fire. That's such a good answer. Wow,
huge golfer. Yeah.
Are you an avid golfer? Gotta ask that now.
Yeah, I'm a huge golfer. So
no way.
So my dad played college golf for a couple years at Kansas, and so I basically played golf since I could walk. And so that was like my first real sport, and like that was my first competitive sport. So I was playing competitive golf since like I was probably 6 or 7 years old.
What?
And then played in high school, was the captain my junior and senior year of the golf team, and then I probably if I would have not have loved lacrosse as much as I wanted to, I probably could have put some more time into it and like maybe try to go somewhere and walk on at like a CU or somewhere like that. But for me, it was that golf is so hard, and it's such a frustrating sport.
Confirmed.
Especially you can put all that work in and then like not be good.
And not be good.
So but golf for sure. If I could go pro.
Do you have a handicap, or like how are you shooting these days?
Right now, just with this crazy like travel schedule and like work schedule and stuff like that, I haven't gotten to play as much as I'd probably like to, but I'm still probably a 5 or 6 right now.
Oh shit.
Oh, all right. So
he's like a golfer. Yeah, he's like a golfer.
He's like 300-yard carry right there.
Damn, that's crazy.
like
we all golf together a lot, so this is like really cool that you're a golfer. That's dope.
Yeah.
That's really cool. All right. So, what TV show are you binging right now?
Funny enough, yeah, no, I'm sitting in my room right now and I'm watching the new Netflix series. I think it's on the Mormon religion. I think it's called Keep Sweet.
Keep Sweet, about the FLDS.
Yeah,
I have watched that.
That shit's crazy.
Buckle up.
Wild.
Yeah, the last episode is wild.
Yeah, no, I make fun of Bubba for it all the time. I'm like, oh, what's up, Utah boy, and give him that stuff. And he gets upset because he's not like that at all. But
Yeah.
So I'm like, dude, it's Utah all the time. I'm like, what is this? I'm like, thank God I was born a state over. And
I know, man. Yikes! Every time Bubba scores, just yell, "Keep Sweet."
Exactly.
Jesus Christ. That's a dark one, man. You're gonna definitely enjoy it.
I'm on episode 2, I think, right now. It's wild.
Yeah. Yeah. Definitely take a breather for the last one. Go ahead, Sam. Damn.
This is a twofer. So, favorite pizza, like pizza topping or just general pizza?
For me, I'm probably a like pepperoni sausage, green pepper type guy with maybe some black olives on there as well.
Long answer.
It's strong.
Olives. It's for the. So it's
Stop! Don't talk about olives.
Higher class taste buds for the
higher
olives.
class.
Yeah.
All right. If you could choose one delivery, which one you going with?
Oh, that's a tough one. You know, I'm a hometown boy. For me, I'll go with the local spot for us. It's like Anthony's. It's great. But like if I'm like feeling pretty like pretty sleazy, I'll probably go Pizza Hut.
Pretty sleazy. I love that.
Some thin crust Pizza Hut. It's really hard to beat. I'll be honest.
That's facts.
That's great.
Go ahead, Matt.
If I gave you the aux cord at a party, what song are you putting on?
First, I'd probably throw on some old Kanye to start, and then I'd probably dive into like maybe some dance music and a little bit of. I'm pretty all over the map, honestly. I think being at High Point, I had a lot of kids that would like give me a bunch of different music tastes. So like it's like rap, house music, country. Sometimes like I just get jumbled in, and I'm like, man, that song's not that bad, man. Got a good mix. And then my parents gave me some funky music taste when I was younger, being the Colorado hippies that they are. So I'm all over the map.
Wow. I love that.
Wow. That's old Kanye is that's a
can't beat old Kanye.
All right, this is by far my favorite question for anybody. It's a little different because you're an attackman, but what is the best defender that you have faced in college? And then we'll do PLL. The best defender you faced in college.
Best defender in college. I'll give it to Brett Maycart. That kid's a freak.
Oh.
Yeah. He was good. I think when we played them my junior year, he got me. I think he held me to 3 points. And then I kind of got him back this year. I mean, it didn't matter. They smashed us anyways. But I kind of got him back this year. I think I had like a 6 or 7 point day.
Sure.
But it's, again, he's got it all. He's got the feet. He's fast. He's super physical. He's got a good stick. So, he was definitely the best college defender. And then so far, I think, Michael Rexroth just is an absolute specimen too. And I got to find that out week 2. That was my first time starting at attack. And I was like, oh, this is my man.
Oh, because Rexroth's normally on Lyle too. So he took you.
So if I was down low, he'd probably be on Lyle. And I probably would have gotten Tucker or Durkin. And so I was like, oh, okay, I'll get ready for that. And then I got Rexroth, and I was like, oh, yeah, that's a lot different. And so, no, he's a stud. And again, he's the best one I've faced so far. And,
wow.
It'll be interesting to see.
That is interesting. I actually, Rexroth's from my area. I coached with him.
You're not Loudoun County, are you?
I am Loudoun County. We are all.
Yeah, no, I got a couple boys from up there. Kev Raj and then Grant.
Kevin Rogers?
Yeah.
Damn.
Yeah, so he obviously went to High Point with me.
Went to High Point, that's right. Yeah, he was good, man.
Yeah, he was good. He
is good. He is good.
Yeah, exactly.
Damn, that's crazy. Yeah, we're all Loudoun County boys. So, who's up? Matt, you're up.
So if you were redesigning the Cannons uniforms, what 2 colors are you picking?
Oh, you can't go wrong with red, white, and blue. I think we have the best colors in the league.
Wow, like that.
Right?
White and blue, straight up.
I don't know how you get better than red, white, and blue, especially because my high school is red, white, and blue. So like, I feel like I've always been a red, white, and blue guy.
Sure.
And so then, like, going to High Point and being purple, I was like, dang, this is, like, completely different. I was like, I don't know if I can rock a lot of purple very often.
So I have to segue because we saw online that you had your own line of clothes on Barstool, and that was that when you were at High Point?
Yeah, so they reached out to me this year, obviously with the NIL stuff, and they're like, hey, do you want to do like a shirt? I was like, sure. Like,
yeah.
And they're like, yeah, so we'll design it. We'll send you the design. You can like make any edits. I was like, I'll be honest, you can just you could put whatever you want on that shirt, just as long as like appropriate. And they sent it to me. I was like, yep, send it out. And so, yeah, no, that was sweet. I think it's still on the website.
Yeah, it still is.
But yeah, no, that was super cool. That was a really
cool, man.
That's awesome.
That's really cool. Yeah, I'll fuck with that. Go ahead, Sam.
All right, one of my favorites is, what was your favorite video game growing up or current?
Growing up, so I'll go growing up first. Growing up was definitely those Spider-Man video games. So I'm a big
like PS2,
PS3 type of guys, and I got a PS4 now. I haven't upgraded yet. I'm not a big video game guy much anymore. I was kind of in college, but it was definitely Spider-Man growing up. I thought I'm a huge Spider-Man guy, so I loved that game. I thought that was like the coolest thing in the world, that you could like,
swing around.
Be Spider-Man essentially. And then and now I'm a big Chell guy. Especially with the Avs winning. It's been a big hockey guy for me, hockey year for me. And so yeah, I'm the reigning champ in my house at High Point. So and they all know that. So if they see that, they're going to be pretty upset. I was
going to say, they're probably mad I brought this up. So all three of us, we played Chell together. That's like that's our game too.
Play OTP.
Yeah. Wow. I mean, obviously these guys both know I'm better than them. That's not up for debate. Don't argue. Don't do that. Stop.
I mean, you playing 2020, like.
Oh my God. Anyway, those are fantastic. Answers. All right. So I feel like we might have already answered this, but I'm still curious. Where are we likely to find you when you're not playing lacrosse? What do you kind of do to get away?
Yeah, for me, it's been a lot of like, this year especially, just coming off the college season and then going right into this stuff pretty much. And then working with my job with 3-Step and 3D Colorado and stuff like that. So I'm traveling a lot, and like coaching all the time and doing all that stuff. So the golf course has definitely been my sanctuary, and like, just putting the stick down for 3-4 hours, and then, hitting a ball around the field for a little bit, and just, trying to put up numbers and getting frustrated, and then like realizing that it's good that I'm getting frustrated. It's just like really good for my mental state of like, getting out there and doing
just
that.
Getting away. Yeah, focusing on something else. Damn. That's dope.
Love that. Dope.
What are your clothes? What do you play with?
Yeah, so that was my big graduation present. I got a brand new set of Mizuno blades.
No, you didn't. Oh my God.
I got the 221s, and so those things are so pure, and I've been loving them.
You got blades too. Of course you play with blades. What am I talking about? Damn.
So pure. I love those things.
Sick. That's awesome.
Oh wow.
Man. Wow.
That's fantastic to hear.
That is really cool. That was really cool. We're gonna try to play golf together this weekend, so that's awesome. Go ahead, Matt.
Yeah, no, that's all we got for you, man. So we do want to thank you again for coming on and talking with us. What's the social media situation? Where can fans follow you online?
Yeah, no. So Instagram, I think I'm Asher.Nolting on Instagram. Twitter, I believe I'm literally the same thing. And then I have a TikTok. I don't post anything. So if you want to follow me on there, go for it. I think I'm literally Asher Nolting 32 on there too.
Perfect.
Pretty basic. But yeah, no, it's I thank you guys for having me on here. It's been fun.
Absolutely, man.
Dude,
so Asher,
good luck this weekend, man.
And yeah, best of luck the rest of the season, man.
Good luck this weekend, man. Thanks for coming on. We really appreciate it.
I appreciate it. I thank you guys.
Yeah,
bye, dude.
Peace.
All right. So now as we look to week 5, we've got a fantastic slate of games coming up. Let's go around here and do our predictions. So the first one we've got is Archer's Redwoods. Sam, kick us off. Who do you like here?
Based on my analysis of the Redwoods today, I'd be crazy not to take Archer's.
Can we backtrack based on your analysis?
Well, he was ripping on him.
Yeah, I call it.
That's what I'm saying.
Whatever.
Yeah,
Whatever.
Okay.
Yeah.
We'll call it
See
Steve.
what Miles has to say about this.
Stephen A analysis.
Archer's. I'll take— -1.5. I think they'll cover. So that's an easy bet for me. I think that's one of the easier ones this week.
Yeah.
Interesting.
I'm actually with Sam on this.
I mean, like I said,
I think Archers cover, and if the Archers get a lot of shots on net, I don't know. Timmy just fucked with my head with the 4 saves, man. Like that's a bad.
That's pretty bad. Yeah, it's
like,
hard to pick them.
You know, it's really, especially with the way the Archers shoot. So I'm taking Archers to cover. Man, this weekend is good.
Dude.
Yeah, this is a really good
This
weekend.
is solid. Yeah, this is up and down. This is great. All right, Matt, what's your pick?
I'm agreeing. I'm gonna go Archers to cover here. So I'll be curious. I'm gonna ask anyone who listens, because I'm thinking about taking all 4 overs this weekend, but
Do it.
So this might be my underplay. I think this is going to be the under.
This game, really?
I think this is going to be the under.
Okay,
I mean, everything we've talked about is Archers. So this is going to be an awful face-up match or face-up match. Ignacio versus TD.
Or maybe TD wakes up this game.
You know? I mean, I hope so, but I don't know. Archers are not getting a lot of possessions. Redwoods, I think, are going to get more possessions, but their offense doesn't look good. So I think you're just Timmy Troutner's performance is concerning, but I don't know. I feel like this might be my underplay.
Wow, I like that. And one thing to note is, I think starting this week for the rest of the season, we need to keep a tally of our wins and losses when we guess. You know what I mean? So at the end of the season, we'll see who had the most.
I think first person to go 4 for 4, the other 2 have to Venmo him $50. Because there's no way any of us have gone 4 for 4 yet.
No chance.
Oh. All right.
I'm pretty sure all of us went 1 for 4.
Is it win-loss and cover or just win-loss?
Oh yeah. No, you gotta pick the spread too.
Nice. Okay.
We'll see if anyone does that.
Wow, right, so I like that.
I'll keep tabs on these. So yeah, I agree. I'm taking Archers -1.5. I think this is a low scoring affair, like I said, but I think this is gonna be a tight game in the 4th. I don't think it's a blowout, but I think Archers end up winning by 2 or 3.
Okay, it's gonna be fun.
All right.
Next game we got. Sorry.
No, never mind. Keep going.
Nothing. No more analysis. Okay. Next game we've got probably game of the weekend. Actually, it has to be game of the weekend.
Absolutely.
Atlas versus the Chrome. I'll leave this one off. I'm hammering the over in this game.
Hard.
Hammering it. I think it's 24.5. I went back and forth on this game. I really hate myself for this, but I think Atlas pulled the upset here, which is crazy to say that the Atlas beating the Chrome is an upset. But
wow, that is.
I think this is another close game. I think Atlas win by 2. I'm really impressed with the transition offense the Atlas have had this season. Also, the Chrome have been dominating people by feeding the inside, which is actually where Kincannon can save the ball. So
true.
I just think both of those add up to a favorable matchup for the Atlas. So I'm going with them.
Wow, that was an actual analysis. Atlas. Sam's so mad. He said the word.
Sam said he was Steve.
Read one Keegs article. Think y'all are analysts. 23.5. I agree with Matt. I'm going to take.
It's 23.5.
Yeah, it's 23.5.
Oh hell yeah, that's an over for sure.
But this game's hard to guess on the spread, so I'm taking Atlas money line. For this game, just because both are high-powered offenses, and both. I think it just depends on goalie play, really, and which defense is playing, more in sync. So, Atlas.
Who's favored? Who's favored to us?
Chrome.
It says Atlas is favored, -1.5.
That's just absolute shade to the
saying.
Chrome.
This is Barstool Sportsbook, so maybe someone else has.
Wow,
Wow.
Well, I'm still hammering the over, but
yeah, absolutely. But I am surprised that they have Atlas.
I'll be curious where that line moves, because I bet you a lot of people are going to take Chrome +1.5.
1,000%.
It looks like a lot of people are taking them +1.5.
Yeah, that might change.
I think I got Chrome winning this game. I think it's very close. I think it's high scoring, but I think it's very close. And Matt's going to be happy as to my reason. I think JT Giles Harris has had a quiet year because he's playing so goddamn well. Like, I think he's not talked about because he played on Lyle last week. He plays on a lot of number one guys, and I think he's going to be a game changer in this game. But no, I think it's very high scoring. Chrome take the dub for sure.
Yeah, I like that comparison, and I've actually thought about that. I've never said it on the podcast, but I do feel like PLL defensemen are like NFL offensive linemen, and
100%.
when you hear an offensive lineman being talked about during a game, it's never good. It's bad.
Nope.
So it's like, and linemen have actually said, when you don't hear our name being called, that means we're doing our job.
That means we had a fantastic game.
Yeah, so JT Giles Harris is playing phenomenally well this season for essentially what's his rookie season because he didn't play last year. So
yeah,
he's looking like an absolute gem of a pick. But I am very excited for this game.
I'm like, this is the late game Friday.
Yeah, 9:45. It's going to be great.
That's
so Saturday we've got two more games. First one is James Chaos versus the Cannons. Who do you like here? Chris Kluche is back.
I know. Just for my psyche, man, I'm gonna take us. I'm gonna take the Chaos to win. I think this week is really. I think last week was our wake up call. I think Sam talked about Dallas getting one, but getting 18 put on your head, man, is just embarrassing. So I feel like we do come back, but I feel like it's high scoring because I think Lyle and Asher are gonna do the damn thing. So Chaos win, sure.
Samwise?
Yeah. This is a tough call, man. It's a really tough call.
It is. This is a tough game.
I do agree. Chaos will probably come back. I'm picking Cannons to cover next week. I think Chaos is favored, so I'm taking Cannons to at least be within that one goal range. Because
Chaos is favored.
I was literally about to say I'm very surprised.
This is on my Barstool Sportsbook thing right now. Chaos is favored -1.5. So, but it's the same as Atlas and Crone, 23.5 over and under. So it is going to be a high scoring game. I believe so. And yeah, I'm not sure who will win this because like we said, Cannons can't close out games. So I'm just taking it to be a close game. Cannons covered.
Yeah. Real quick, Matt, sorry, I got to jump in here real quick. Sam, $15. Chrome beat you guys.
I love this because Sam cannot turn out a bet on this podcast.
I'm never going to turn it down.
I paid him last week.
If this camera's not rolling, Sam's not taking that bet.
He's so indecisive.
He's so pissed. I love that.
Because, dude, when I have a bet with Sam, I watch the game so much more intently. I'm like,
it makes it so much fun.
It is so much more fun. Sorry, go ahead, Matt.
Even though our 3-leg parlay was ruined on the first because we had Chaos beating Water Dogs. That hurt a little bit, but
right.
So I looked and I think only one of the 3 hit. So even if Chaos had one, we still wouldn't have won. But that would have been a nice payout.
We learned our lesson.
Yeah. I do think this is a very close game. I was gonna take Chaos 1.5 just because I think Cannons win by 1, but since Chaos are favored somehow, I'm taking Cannons 1.5 plus 1.5. But I do. I think Blaze plays better. I think your defense plays better. I really don't know who's gonna win the face-off matchup here. I assume Stephen Kelly is probably going to be – I think it'll be close. But, I think we're seeing the Asher and Lyle 1-2 punch get better every week. And I think this is the same thing as I think the two of them are just going to be overwhelming for defenses to handle for 4 quarters. So
that being said, Chris coming back is huge.
Chris coming back is big.
That's huge.
Big.
He's a nightmare inside.
So maybe this might be an over pick too. With Kluche back, I like the over. What is it, 23.5? I
think so.
Mr. Analysis?
Yes, it's
I don't care what it is. I'm taking the over.
Okay.
I like Cannons plus 1.5, and I'm taking the over.
Okay.
I agree.
Last game of the week.
This weekend, man. This is awesome.
Couple W's getting together here at 8:45. Whip Snakes, Water Dogs. Sam, lead us off here.
Got Sammy.
This will be a dope game. I am super excited for this. I think this is another one of those games where trying to guess the spread is going to be tough because both offenses are pretty high powered, can score a lot of goals pretty quickly. I'm taking Whip Snakes money line on this. I did see that Joe Keegs article where they're crushing everybody running to the line on their shots on defense. Chase outs. Thank you. So those hustle plays and that style, like I know they are turning over the ball a lot, but I think they're recovering on offense. Having Zed and Rambo, especially Rambo, who can just kind of bully defenses to do what he wants. It's going to be a high scoring game, over under 24.5.
Slight word.
So yeah, I think I'm taking over. I'm taking Whip Snakes money line. I think I'm going 4-4 this week. I have a good feeling.
What are you talking about?
4-4.
You should just give me that 50 now.
4-4 or 4-0?
Same thing, 4-0.
4-4 would mean you lose 4 games also.
Yeah.
So
It's the same thing.
He's been winning so much as an Atlas fan, he forgot what it's like.
Sorry.
4-0. 4-0.
4-0. Wait, do you really think you're going to go 4-0 this weekend?
I have a strong feeling.
You have Archers, Atlas, Chaos, Whip Snakes, or Cannons Whip Snakes?
I have Archers -1.5, Atlas money line, Cannons to cover, and
Whip Snakes money line.
Hold up. If we're doing this bet, you can't take a money line. You got to take the cover.
Straight up spread.
Yeah.
You get all up.
I mean, if you could take money line, there's no point doing the spreads. It's safer.
All right, fine.
Oh, now it's not good. Yeah, that 4-0 went quiet real quick.
Yeah, right. He's like, let me do my Sam analysis.
Nah, man. Home
Sam
squad.
analysis.
We're going Atlas.
Atlas -1.5? Or wait.
All right, well, while you do your homework, let me do my take.
Okay, you do you.
Who you like, Jimmy?
Your dogs looked so good last week, man. They look so good, but I can't go against the Whip Snakes right now.
You can't pick against the Whip
I
Snakes.
can't. I think one thing that we kind of forgot about. Do you remember that the Whip Snakes went down last season with Burnlow on the bench? Remember that?
They went what?
They went they lost. They obviously ended up losing, but in that playoff run, Burnlow wasn't playing. Remember?
Oh yeah.
Yeah. So I feel like this has really been his comeback season. People have forgot that he's.
It's a good point. It kind of has.
He went to 3 national championships at Maryland. So mostly because of goalie playing Matt Rambo. Taking Whip Snakes, and I think Whip Snakes will cover for sure.
I'm taking Water Dogs to cover. I think Water Dogs will at least be within 1. So,
You think they will be within 1?
Oh yeah, absolutely.
Okay, that's interesting.
Damn.
That's interesting.
This is the week.
I'll write mine down.
Turn it all around, boys. I'm picking the Water Dogs with the. No, I'm just kidding. I'm going Whip Snakes.
Oh, okay.
Chance.
I was like,
chance.
damn, dude, I'm with that.
This is a route. It's a burial. In the words of Stu Feiner, this is gonna be an ass whooping, dude. People are somehow still sleeping on the Whip Snakes. Just not necessarily from a ranking. Yeah, I mean they're the number 1 team in the league, but dude, again, Zed Williams was not there last week. He played, but he didn't do anything. We have not seen the full potential of this offense. You've got the best offense in the league on paper, who are shooting abysmal, and still they're 4-0. You've got the best goalie in the league right now. Your face-off guy, Nardell, is playing out of his mind.
Second to Trevor.
You've got the best LSM in the league, in Earhart. I really it's somehow the Whip Snakes are still being slept on as a 4-0 team. So I do love what I saw from the Water Dogs last week. 2 weeks ago we played the Whip Snakes and it went into overtime. We saw it live, but I don't see that happening again. We've still got Schlosser out, Withers is out, DiNapoli's out, so still not at 100% healthy. I don't think
Sowers
it matters.
playing?
Sowers, I believe, is playing. Yeah,
He is playing. Okay.
So, yeah, love what I saw from the Water Dogs this week. I hope they keep improving, but I'm taking Whip Snakes to cover. Absolutely hammering the over in this game. My one pick of the week is the over in this game. It's going to be a shootout.
Wow.
So
I'm curious to see if you guys do the Ryan Brown stuff, but with the Whip Snake.
If it ain't broke, don't fix it.
I know. I just they got tape on it now, so
they do have tape, so it'll be different. But I think this has potential to be the game of the week behind Atlas Chrome just because of how high scoring it's going to be.
Yeah,
people love seeing a shootout.
That's true. It doesn't matter if it's not the two best teams in the league. High scoring games they're more fun.
People love it. All right, well we got our pick. This is going to make it very interesting. See who wins this bet. I'm very curious now.
Yeah, it's going to make if you hit 3 of them, there's one more game left. That's going to make that game so. We're
going to be sweating on Saturdays. That's for sure.
I love that.
All right, well that's all we got for this week, guys. We do appreciate y'all tuning in. Sam's got his little nerdy ass book over there, keeping track of our picks.
Nerd.
Whatever. That's all we got. So again, enjoy the games this week. We'll be back next week to recap them. So we will talk to y'all then.
Peace, hair, grease.